The holiday season is known for bringing family and friends together and creating happy memories. But for some, holiday memories are surrounded by tragedy.
This month, we'll be sharing one unsolved missing person story every single day. We hope sharing their story will help bring them home for the holidays. Hold tight on this one because this missing person story is going to boggle your mind. On December 13th of 2001, a man by the name of Woodrow Judge Allen was seen for the last time alive by his mother. Woodrow's nickname was Token. He was seen walking away from his mom's house with a friend by the name of Donald Clemens. A few days later, on the 17th, after not hearing from Woodrow, his mom filed a missing persons report. Now, what makes this case different is the fact that Woodrow was about to testify against a man by the name of Bruce Edward. Want to know what he accused Bruce of doing?
Sure do.
Shooting a gun 3 times into a truck driven by Woodrow while his 16-year-old niece was in the vehicle as well.
Oh,
Yep, this event apparently, allegedly, happened on October 28th, so just a few weeks before Woodrow went missing. He was obviously unable to testify in this case because he went missing. And Bruce was actually found not guilty on the 2 counts of attempted murder. He did get convicted of reckless endangerment, and there were some additional charges from this October incident where he had like possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. I honestly couldn't find out the outcome of those 2 charges. I just know he was convicted of reckless endangerment, but not attempted murder. But this is not the end of this all. Fast forward to October of 2009. So all this time, they have no idea where Woodrow is. He's just missing. This is when authorities they issue an arrest warrant in connection with Woodrow's murder. The US Marshals show up at the workplace of this Bruce guy, and it's in Pensacola, Florida. Bruce is summoned to like the office. The place he's working is like a huge campus, and it's got 40 buildings and like hundreds of acres, 750 acres.
oh, wow.
It's I can't remember if it's like a power plant or something of that nature. So Bruce is summoned to the office so that they could arrest him on murder charges for Woodrow, even though they haven't found him. Bruce runs. He doesn't go to the office. He knows what they're there for and he makes a break for it. They had US Marshals, they had Escambia County deputies, helicopters also from Escambia County and Walton County. They had several tracking dog units out there, including one from the Century Correction Institution, all like tons of law enforcement agencies looking for Bruce. They even had to put a local college on lockdown because they thought he might be that wherever he worked was right next to a college campus.
That's scary.
Yes. And I swear, so many of our cases are around places that I've lived. Just so you all know, I'm not like a nomad that moves all the time. But my husband is retired military, so we've moved our fair share around the country, and we actually spent 4 years about 10 minutes away from Escambia County, and that's where all this happened. They do not find Bruce on this day. However, the very next day, Bruce's father calls the local sheriff stating he needs to see him now, and he wants the sheriff to come over to their house. When he arrives, Bruce surrenders without any more issues. And he's already caused probably $1 million in workforce, but he surrenders without any more issues. Bruce pled guilty in 2002 to the murder of Woodrow. But get this. He would be sentenced to 20 years in prison. However, he would only actually have to do 3 years incarcerated, and then he gets 7 years in probation. I don't know what kind of backwoods math that is. 3 years in prison, 7 years probation for literally running and murdering someone. I just
Yeah.
My mind is just crazy with those numbers. Still to this day, Bruce has never said where Woodrow's remains are or what exactly happened to him or how he killed them, anything like that. Never a word. And I honestly feel like this should be a condition of this guy or anybody getting out on probation. They must say where the remains are, especially if they confess, if they're like, hey, I did it.
Yeah.
Because his family's still left wondering where the heck they are. Another aspect of this case that I found incredibly weird or strange was the fact that there were comments on an article. It was an article written about this whole ordeal. And these comments made me question a lot about what went on. Many of the comments are normal, like, how could this guy confess to killing someone and only get 3 years in prison? How does 7 plus 3 equal 20? Those I expected. However, there were quite a few comments about what a great guy Bruce was, how polite and nice he was, how they never thought his name would be associated with the murder. And they still don't really believe if it was murder or could it have been self defense. He shot his truck. I was found not guilty for that. So allegedly shot his truck 3 times and confessed to killing him.
Wow.
This wasn't just by one person, these comments. There was like literally multiple commenters saying this stuff. Like he was the nicest guy. Polite was the word that they described him the most. Would never be angry. And they just couldn't believe that he was being charged or convicted of this. Then there were family members of Woodrow on this site as well, commenting. And I could not believe that all these people were essentially giving character witness statements about this convicted murderer. I mean, remember, he was accused of shooting a vehicle that occupied a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yes, he was never convicted, but is that because the main witness was not able to
Was
show up?
missing? Yeah.
Very sus. And the fact that Bruce had hardcore drugs found inside his vehicle. Let's not forget, massive manhunt when he tried to run, lockdown of a college. I cannot understand. People get 3 years for like unpaid parking tickets.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could not believe it when I read this. I'm sorry, I do not believe that this is a good guy, no matter what his friends think about him. He obviously has done some bad things. And I just couldn't imagine what the family reading these comments about how much of an amazing man Bruce was, even though he was convicted of killing their loved one.
Some people don't realize how much words can hurt.
Exactly. I'm just like, these people are reading these messages. Oh, it probably wasn't his fault. It was probably self defense. They're still missing their loved one because Bruce won't tell them where the body is at or his remains
Mhm.
are to this day. And it's been a very long time. Woodrow Judge Allen is described as a Caucasian male. It does state that he is 25 years old at the time of his disappearance. However, he does not look 25. He does look much older. If you have any information about what happened to Woodrow, either his murder or his disappearance, please contact area code 850-436-9620. This is the number to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
Wow. Wow.
I
Like,
know. Like,
you weren't kidding that it's like basically a movie script.
I just can't imagine all of those jurisdictions and those units out there searching for him, and he somehow gets away.
Mhm.
Lockdown on the college. Do you know how much that probably cost the college? I
Or our taxpayers.
or our taxpayers, exactly, and it's just, what the crap? How who
And he just
I
walks. He gets
and
nothing.
3 years, 3 years,
Yeah. Which is basically nothing.
basically nothing.